Today I'm kind of doing a little weapons review on a friend and customer's AR-15. It is a new Frontier lower receiver. One of New Frontier's biggest claims to fame is a polymer lower receiver. This is nothing new in the gun world for polymer guns. Glock pioneered it a lot. There's High Point, Smith & Wesson, HK, the USP, the UMP is a machine pistol. Those have great polymer frame guns. The UMP I'm not real fond of. But I was very interested to play with this, test it out, evaluate it a little bit, just see what I thought of the gun in general. I'll go through each one of the parts that have been put on this briefly, but there will be a longer video in the future regarding each one. Let's just start off with my gripes, complaints, and problems with New Frontier. It's all plastic. I don't mind a plastic gun, but the wear points, the hammer, the trigger, I know you're not supposed to do that, but just to point out, it's plastic hitting plastic. And like I said, I've done it a couple of times, that's about it. It won't hurt the gun. Considering most of these parts are going to get replaced with metal. The magazine release is plastic. The only parts that are metal are the springs, the buffer tube, the buffer itself, and the parts that I've put on here. Yes, even the pins, the detent pins down themselves are polymer. They must have made a mint on this gun because polymer is super cheap and super easy. There are a few things that I don't like about it. The edges could be finished a lot better. I think it's kind of rough. It's not a super expensive high-end AR, but I feel things should be done better. Some of the things that the owner has put on here, and I have helped put on here, battery assist device by Troy Industries. The owner's left-handed, makes things getting into pretty difficult. An AR is a very right-handed gun. A ambidextrous and extended release for the charging handle, and the PEPR scope mount, which is awesome. It's got a pretty good scope on it. For varmint hunting at least, it is a 3x9 Weaver scope. One of the things I don't like about it, of course, the grip is aftermarket. It's got a great palm swell. A lot of shooters love those grips. I can't remember the name brand right now. But B Square come out with this bipod thing. Stays clipped together as a grip. You hit a couple of buttons up here in the back, and it'll expel itself at a high rate of speed. Close it and press it back in. I'm going to leave it open for a second. Show the grade point. Your rifle is highly stable here, and a spring keeps it centered. So you have, if you move the gun, you have to get spring tension. And of course, it leans this way. Some of that motion is taken up once we close it, but not all of it. So now I've got a gun that's kind of wagging on me if I shoulder it. Not something I would like in a rifle. Also, the fact that it's held on by 4 screws to a standard handguard. If I want a bipod, I'd rather throw a bipod on the gun. To me, this just makes it a problem. While I do love this grip, it makes it not fit in my cases, which is a simple Walmart case is what the owner has, and both the grip and the bipod stick up just a little bit. It's great for a Sunday shooter that doesn't put a lot of rounds down range, but for any type of seriousness on a gun, it's probably not something I would ever recommend. While I wouldn't recommend shooting with it, I can push this button. Makes it awesome to display the gun sitting on the living room floor or on a coffee table. I think that's the best feature of the B Square Bipod.